Hello and welcome out to Moreno Valley, California and Riverside International Raceway for today's running of the USARC Aaron's Pro Series and the Keystone Light 250. On the pole for Soaring Seagulls Racing, Nick Breeding, and to his outside, J.R. Bedard in the 55.
Yeah, Nick Breeding's first career pole, and it's interesting because he is always very strong on these road courses. He's won at Road America this season in the Aaron's Pro Series, and he won at Road America last season in the Granger Truck Series. But since then, he's struggled to find similar pace, even at road courses, which do seem to be a speciality. The same can be said for J.R. Bedard, but it's even worse for him. He's won in the Granger Truck Series at one road course before. That was Trois Rivières last year. However, in the Aaron's Pro Series, he's had decent qualifying pace. He had some decent pace at Trois Rivières and last road course, but he's not been able to convert that into race trim. So we've got two young drivers who maybe not necessarily the pressure is on, but they need to kind of show that they've got a bit of race pace. And someone who does have race pace is the man right behind them. That's Benedict Murdo, running full-time in the O1 for the rest of the season. He's had a strong qualifying, and he's up here with teammates Anthony Greenman, Cameron Lopez, and Peter Onjak as well, who's finally had a good qualifying after a difficult start to the season in that number 41 Chevrolet.
We see a horde of Fords in the top 10 today. 4 of them of the Seagulls, as we expect, and also a Kazakh car up there in the top 6, I believe. That must be the 79, I think. It is. That must be Katusha Tarasova, also one of the many road course races, aces even. Usually not doing so well, but doing a really good qualifying for the Kazakhstan team tonight, this week.
And looking back through some other notables, obviously Greenman, the points leader, he started a really rough skid at Ontario here, and he's hoping that maybe he could get the ship righted here, as his points lead down to just 36 over Luke Evans, who's starting way behind him, and just behind Greenman, the last winner at Riverside, Ricky Freeman Jr., returning to Aaron's Pro Series competition in the 57. Blake Card was fired earlier this week for a lack of performance. And then the 23 of Freya Aradotter, unfortunately, after the very unfortunate incident that happened last week with Arjun Bajraktari and losing him, Freya has some shoes to fill, and the show goes on. But it'll be interesting to see what Aradotter can do in that 23 machine.
Yeah, and of course, Aradotter, known for showing a little bit of road course pace here and there, had decent pace at Trois Rivières in the 7 PM performance entry, but sadly got caught up in an accident with Bobak Fox on that day and was kind of hampered from there. But I think it's really great to see that 23 car in a good starting position with a decent chance of a good finish, given Aradotter's road course experience. Yeah, just a good way to honour the memory of Arjun Bajraktari.
I couldn't agree more there. As for our championship leaders, obviously we already talked about Anthony Greenman and Derek Petty in the 10th place over there. The other following pack, Luke Evans down in 26 today, so quite a lot of space to make up. We definitely seen pace of him on road courses before, so don't count him out just yet. He does have a fast car, so could be making up a lot of spaces there. Luna Bennington in 21st, of course, in the number 4 car. And our and Hiccup Bush all the way down in 34th, usually also a road course ace. But qualifying just didn't go his way this time. But again, don't count him out just yet. One of our youngest and hungriest drivers out there. I expect big things today.
And we have a debutant in the field starting 30th, Arben Jersey in the 86 for Fleur-de-Lis Motorsports. And obviously, he'll be looking to just do whatever he can, gain some experience. And starting in 37th, replacing the injured Roberto Crown Jr., Don Falconer, who made his debut at Trois-Rivières a few weeks ago in the 86, will now pilot the 3 in relief.
Yeah, I think Daytona Motorsports see a lot of potential in Falconer, already slated to replace Vargas in the Zero in the Aaron's Pro Series next season, not in the Cup Series, which Vargas will stay in. And he's got pace on these road courses, clearly not in qualifying, however. But I think there's a lot of decent cars towards the back end of the field, like we've mentioned, and it could be interesting to see how far they can make up today. No cars failed inspection. And it's Eli Stillwolf and Carter Swab who round off your field today. With that, Nick Breeding on the pole with J.R. Bedard beside him. We'll be right back with the command here from Riverside. Welcome back to Riverside. We are just moments away from the command to get engines fired.
Drivers, start your engines!
With a very enthusiastic command, engines roar to life here. It's 42 of the Aaron's Pro Series best, ready to do battle around this famed California road course.
And obviously, we talked about in the pre-race Nick Breeding, your pole sitter. He's always been a threat on these road courses. In fact, a lot of road course threats up here with Bedard, with Murdo, and even drivers like Lopez and Tarasova as the pace car pulls off. And the green flag is in the air. We are racing here at Riverside.
It's a good start for Breeding, going to clear Bedard, who's under pressure from Breeding's teammate Murdo. He's going to get the jump on Bedard.
Ford's going all the way through, all 3 of them.
Yeah, Lopez as well. Greenman's looking at on-jack now. Isaac Davis bumped down on the start there. I think they're cleanly through behind them. Freya Aradotta with a good start as well in the 23.
Making their way into the top 10. Nick Breeding gapping the field already early. Leading their teammate and team boss, Nick Murdo, and Cameron Lopez in third right now.
I mean, that's a pretty ideal start if you're an SSR fan right there. Greenman as well making up at least 1 place. And when you see the likes of Derek Petty having to defend here from not 1 but 2 cars, yeah, it couldn't get much better for an SSR fan.
And obviously, we know that Greenman is not the strongest road racer, so just to see him up here in general is a shock for most, as we see Aradotta racing with Petty.
He's going to hold her off, or maybe not. Well, I thought Miguel was going to look 3 wide for a second there, but nothing happening.
It really is the road course ringers on display right now. Rigel and Tarasova and everybody just out here battling. Exciting stuff here at Riverside.
Lots of side-by-side action early on. That's Mika Papega, who's fairly far up front. And Ricky Freeman Jr., who has dropped a few positions on the start. Oh my god, a huge mover here. That's for 64. Oh, sorry, no, we're further back through the field there than I thought. It was only 20th there for the 64 of Evans. I thought it was slightly further up the field. Here's Henry Thomas in the 62 this week.
But it's already 5 places made up for Luke Evans in 1 lap. That's nothing to sneeze at, absolutely not.
Just wonder, there's a car
way down back there. It's a 52 with Gutierrez.
Oh, Gutierrez. I think he may have issues, or he's just had a really bad run off the corner, because he was just hemorrhaging spots down the back straight away. And then we see the Dragon Racing duo here, Pickup Bush and Gretchen Hasselhoff, doing battle with Nicholas Santiago. Breeding's checked out here. That's a 2-second gap on lap 3 of this thing. Really ideal start for someone who's had a decent season, but other than that that win at Road America, has not fully shown off the capabilities of that number 10 machine.
Currently the lowest down of the 4 SSR free full-time drivers, but that's still 9th place in the standings, so nothing to really be too mad at. But yeah, as you said, only the 1 win, nothing much. A 3rd place in Hillside, but elsewise not much to really stamp his mark. But maybe this is going to be his masterclass. It definitely looks like it. Already 2 seconds ahead, and ahead of very successful and proven drivers. So absolutely no sham so far. But we'll see how it goes. We still have a lot of race to go, a lot of pits to make, a lot of issues to avoid.
Yeah, Riverside did. Oh, sorry.
I mean, when you're gapping one of the best road racers, I mean, now the gap has shrunk a lot down to 1.1 seconds. Murdo trying to reel him in here, but having 2 seconds on one of the best road racers in USARC is definitely an accomplishment, even if it is early in the race.
And last year, we must remember that Riverside really did spring up its fair share of action. Lots of late race drama. It was Kyler Soustrai who, with a fairly commanding lead in the championship, got caught up in a bit of a mess on lap 1, was driving that 11 car, and that commotion at Riverside for Kyler Soustrai last year may well have cost them the championship. We all know what happened at Homestead last year, the controversy surrounding that. So Riverside, clearly a place where these sorts of things can happen. And we are at that point of the season, the run-in, we are at the point of the run-in now. 36 points is the gap. And I'm sure that will be wearing on the mind of Anthony Greenman today.
I think what is more on his mind is, where's that dang 64 at?
Not made
his
any...
mind will definitely go to...
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, the 64, the 46, funnily enough, both on the following drivers in the standings. As long as he's gapping them, he must be pretty happy about his results, especially as we talked about before. Top 10 on a road course for Anthony Greenman between all these ringers is definitely nothing to be mad about. So we'll see how that will continue as the following drivers definitely make their way through the field, even though slowly. I don't think Luke Evans has been making much progress in the following laps after making up 4 places. He's up to 18th, so maybe we'll see him up in the top 10, but so far he's still quite a bit away.
That's a fast race car, clearly, but this is a difficult track to overtake. You can make your way up through the field, and we will see drivers do it, but it is still difficult to overtake. I think a bit of this might come down to just how well you can hit your marks on pit road. Obviously, there you're at the mercy of your own pit crew and your own crew chief to come up with a good strategy, but still, that's easily a place where races can be won and lost here. That gap has shrunk again. Oh, and Murdo's right there.
Right on the tail. You just know Murdo is also the type of driver to not let their teammate have a win here if he can make him earn it. Instead, big launch into the next corner is going to be on the inside.
Oh, and he takes that very nicely.
Yeah.
Oh, and Breeding got a bit jumped out of line there because now Lopez is coming. Yeah.
I wonder if he's having an issue, but
he's gonna
surprisingly slow.
Yeah, he's gonna hold off Lopez for now. I just think he got knocked out of line there. Maybe he just wasn't expecting his teammate and boss to come storming up the inside in that manner. But yeah, as a result, Murdo's checked out already.
But I think also a car we should maybe talk about is the 55 of J.R. Bedard, who's had a really rough season so far. Only one top 10 up until now in North Wilkesboro. Driving up in the end 4th, obviously started in 2nd, I believe, but so lost a couple of places, but still in a very good position here to get a really good result for his team and for his season to improve a little bit.
mean,
Yeah,
I think
he's running comfortably in the top 5 here, just in front of a teammate in 53. So, gotta be pretty happy with the results so far.
I think people forget that Jack Bedard at one point led the Truck Series standings last year, and he led it for a long time, longer than most last year in the Truck Series. Because I mean, that leaderboard was all over the place, and he led a decent portion. Obviously, like we mentioned in the pre-race, he won a race, but that sort of form has not translated over to the Aaron's Pro Series, at least not yet. I mean, there's still quite a fair few races to go. We've got a road course here, we've got a road course next. And do you know what? The 2 555 cars, they're keeping pace with the SSR trio up front, so it's not all doom and gloom at the minute. Certainly for 555 in this race. Speaking of someone who has experienced a lot of doom and gloom, in the Aaron's Pro Series at least this season, that's Peter Onjak in the 41. I mean, what can there be said about his season that hasn't already been said? There's not a lot of good things to say about it, that's for sure.
It just seems like every time you look back and see that 41 car, it's in the wall or in someone's rear bumper, but I'm sure that whole Anjato team would be happy with the fact that they're just running in the top 10 for now. But definitely not a spot they're used to being in, especially with Peter Onjak being one of the most winningest drivers in USARC.
Just looking further back through...
Third place last season in the series, and now this season's just not gone his way at all.
I mean, obviously his resources will be focused towards the Cup Series, and we can see Greenman shaping up a move here. But still, that 41's a fast car. Let's also establish that. Relative to the rest of the field, that 41's fast. So, yeah, a bit miffed as to where his luck's gone this year. Oh, and I think Evans has lost a few places here, actually. We've got a bit of racing action here. Here's Vargas and Fitzwater.
Two drivers you don't talk about that often, but I think especially a guy like Fitzwater you have to keep in mind on road courses, and we're definitely seeing an interesting battle here.
Is he the highest running Toyota?
Ooh.
I'm just thinking. He is. And he's down in 17th. Wow. And then you can see Master and Rimmel there behind. And they're the only 2 Toyotas in the top 20. Then you have Seth Morgan, Luna Bennington slightly further back. I mean, to be fair, there's not as many Toyotas in the field to begin with. There's Nicholas Santiago. Looking further back, yeah, not too many in the field. So, well, there's the 83 of Disperito. That was the other car I was looking for, but that's right at the tail end. Aiden Smith currently running off the field, and Cameron Lopez has got past Nick Breeding.
Yeah, Breeding hemorrhaging spots. Keeps going down the order. Hopefully he can still at least hold on to a podium finish. Obviously, we still have almost 2/3 of the race to go, so still a lot to play for, especially with the pit cycles. That should be coming up soon if I had to, I guess.
Ooh.
Breeding looks toward the inside of the 11 here.
One thing we haven't been short of has been pretty exciting overtakes and pretty exciting racing, so Nick Breeding going to be having the outside again, same place where Murdo overtook him a couple of laps ago, and yeah, he clears it.
Wow.
That seems to be one of the best places to do it.
Yeah, for sure. And I was going to say whilst Lopez had passed Breeding, I don't think it's going to be the same as when Murdo overtook Breeding. I think these two are going to fight, and they already have. And I imagine Lopez, especially after his first career win last week at Ontario, he'll be hungry for more, and I think he's demonstrating that already right on the back of Nick Breeding.
Have to imagine, especially with one of the SSR ANCS seats still open, there's definitely a demand for good drivers to fill that seat. So I don't see why Cameron Lopez would want to show his worth here. and maybe bring his name even closer into contention for that. Definitely had the pace in the last
few weeks. Looking down throughout the field, no one's actually currently going side by side. All 42 cars seemingly running their own races. Still close between this group here, though. I wonder if one of the SSR cars here, acting as a bit of a cork in the bottle and helping Murdo pull away, because Bedard and Davis are right on the back of Lopez at the minute, and they've not really taken off with him at all.
Yeah, it's a very close top 5, minus the leader, but the 2nd to 5th are really, really close together. We're a bit in a single file right now, but as we saw, just with a couple of turns and turns and straights, you can just be there, right there, and just be on the inside and overtake. But the Dodgers right now kind of biding their time, waiting for the moment, but are going really wide there. Might be opening the door for Davis on the straight.
Yeah, Davis can have a look.
I think he's going to be on the outside here, so...
Outside for the kink, inside for that final banked corner. I wonder if he's just going to lunge it in here, get alongside Bedard. He clears him.
Oh, beautiful.
It was very nicely done. Yeah.
So now Davis is going to be the following one, so maybe he can make a dent. Obviously, you see it in other race series where teammates will invert positions to, you know, try to chase somebody. So maybe this is what's going on, but...
So you see Jacques Rigel making the move to the inside of Greenman, gets them all out of whack there, and he will take the position up into 7th. Goes Jacques Rigel, and back into 8th goes Greenman, and he has a pretty healthy gap over Derek Petty in 9th.
I think given where his championship competitors are, other than Derek Petty, but he's still ahead and he's got a large gap to him in the points. I think Greenman's more than content to not really put up much of a fight against Rigel. I don't think there's any need for him to. Is Davis here maybe up an opportunity on the 11 of Lopez? Maybe not.
He's too far away. But...
Yeah, I mean, it was just Lopez had a slightly worse exit off the corner and down along straightaway. So, I mean, you know, poor exit there is going to affect you all the way in the run down to this banked corner here. Murdo's going to take lap 13. We're approaching the halfway point of this race. Still no pit stops yet. They will pit at least once. And in fact, if they pit now, they're guaranteed to pretty much just from there go to the end. Here we see some exciting racing. Freeman's dropping positions fairly quickly after starting inside the top 10 here.
Yeah, you mentioned the halfway point coming up soon. You have to imagine if maybe strategy is coming into play because we haven't had a caution yet. You have to wonder if we maybe some teams will be staying out a bit longer, hoping for that caution on a track like this, where they're usually quite plenty. Obviously, as well, especially if you're a driver like Hiccup Bush in the back or Luke Evans, who's really needing to make up places. You might go early and try to catch people off guard, or you go late and try to hope for a caution so you get a cheaper pit stop. It's going to be quite interesting to see how these strategies will diverge here. Especially, it does seem to look like that we are looking at a one-stop race, so you don't want to go too early, so you can make it to the end with your one-stop.
I just want to point out some damage there on the side of Gretchen Hasselhoff's car. Clearly a minor incident because we're not under yellow and no one else seems to have damage. But yeah, interesting to note nonetheless. And here comes Tarasova. Really big lunge on Derek Petty. And I tell you what, it's going to possibly... Oh, that's quite close there. But it is going to work for Tarasova. That's 9th place now. And Aradot are just on the edge of the top 10. Honouring Badger Akhtari this weekend. Really good run for that 23 team.
there's the 48 car of Alexander Rowe, running pretty decent here, just outside the top 10, and Mika Papega in the 24. Also with a pretty good run so far.
This is where it's really close. Look at these guys, all on each other's bumpers.
It's like LA traffic out here, Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, no one's actually going to get a move done, but look at Falconer, I imagine is possibly getting a little bit frustrated, hence him completely missing his braking point. I wonder... Yeah. Oh, and off goes Suleimanova.
Seems to be keeping it. Nothing happened. But yeah, especially for Don Falconer, absolutely. Like, especially if you're behind a slightly damaged, even if it's only slightly damaged car. Oh, there we have the first pitters.
Just Isaac Davis down at the minute. But this confirms it will be a one-stop race. Curious to see if anyone else goes in this early. I wonder what fresh tyres can do for a bit of track position, maybe. And it just seems like it's only Davis coming down on this lap.
As long as he can make it to the end, I don't think that's a bad strategy. As you said,
I agree.
Like, if you go early, you can maybe just be in the back for a bit, have a clean, have like no one in front of you, and just lap, and just have good quick laps for a couple of while, and then you might overtake the ones in the lead. So maybe that will work out for Davis. Seems to be, yeah, just clean air in front of the 53.
Given that he's come out right at the back of the field, I imagine he's taken 4 tyres. I mean, that's just a guess. We didn't see his stop, but eyes now on Murdo, who's absolutely dominated since taking the lead away from Nick Breeding. Will he come down on lap 15? He will.
Surely want to take the 4 tires if a one stop, right? All the top 4 coming down at the same time. So this will be in a very interesting battle. Let's see if Peter Onjak also joins. Yep.
Everyone's down on this lap. Yep.
Yeah. So Davis only has the one. I guess maybe people got a bit worried about Davis cutting him off.
Oh, and a late decision there from Fitzy. Oh, and Spurley's gonna. Oh no!
Ooh.
Oh no!
Oh no!
And we're not under yellow. Oh no, we are now. Oh dear. Just as everyone's pitting, that could be huge for strategy. Murdo's coming out the pits now.
Well, the 12 of Riley Spurley to just completely missing the entrance there, just losing it completely. That's unfortunate. You really expect, maybe an unexperienced driver to make a mistake like that, but I guess sometimes you just miss the breaking point.
Oh.
Yeah.
Murdo's going around here, so we have an interesting situation. When the caution came out, Murdo and a number of other drivers had already passed the start-finish line. The CD4's got damage. How much?
This is going to be a weird one to untangle.
Yeah, I mean, look, you can see the front right there of Evans' car. Henry Thomas has picked up some damage, I imagine possibly on pit road, but yeah, like you said, I mean, that's a mess right there. So I imagine what's going to happen is USARC's going to have to do a bit of field management under this caution. Murdo's racing back round to take the yellow, and what he's technically done, if he's in a bunch of cars on the back end of the lead lap, I think. There goes Rigel through. So he might now be third on track, if I've got that right. There's Breeding, there's Bedard, Petty, Onjak coming through as well.
Mess.
And Greenman, Rowe. Yeah, very messy here. I've not seen anything like this ever, really.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens when you have some cars behind the race, their pit stalls behind the race line, some in front of it, and also, the front couple of cars were already leaving the pit lane as the incident was happening. So, them's the rules, but let's see what the ruling will be at the end.
Benedict Murdo with a fresh set of tyres. He is your leader. We'll be right back here. We're going to take a little look at what's happened to bring this caution out. You are watching the Aaron's Pro Series at Riverside. Well, here we can see Riley Spurley Tube. Maybe it's because 64 gets to his inside. But watch this, just completely overshoots pit road, comes down way too late and into the end of the pit wall. He is okay. And you can see Red Bull then very nearly doing the same, but nonetheless, they done for Riley Spurley Tube. Our first retirement and our first caution of the day here at Riverside. Welcome back to Riverside, Riley Spurley Tube, your sole retirement of the day. A slightly longer caution, USARC officials taking their time to get the field sorted out. We had a lot of cars who were trapped a lap down, and officials deemed that unfair and kind of against the spirit of the rules. So it's Cameron Lopez now who is your leader. Somewhere amongst this field, you can see Benedict Merlo there. He is still... he is full team, so it's not fully out of the picture yet if he can win this thing, but he's got a long way to go, and there's a fair few road course aces making up that top 5, as you can see there in your frame.
Lopez out front, Jacques Rigel in second, Nick Breeding third, fourth, J.R. Bedard, and fifth, rounding out the top 5, Derek Petty. So there's a lot of competition up here at the front, and just such little time left.
Pace car is in.
Yes, the pace car is off. And the green flag is back out. And they're fanning out all in the back there, but keeping calm up here.
Lopez drove it slightly deep. Rigel's going to be on him. Breeding with some damage. He's picked up somewhere. There's cars around in the back. All trouble. Georgie around, Rimmel around. There's another car off as well.
I believe it was the 94. I believe that's Radval.
Well, he's kept it going, although he is trapped in a ditch. Okay, so that car's not going to make it back on his own, and the yellow is back out. So we are racing back here.
We saw the 94 earlier, almost losing it on the pit entry. Maybe they just been dealing with low grip today. Maybe that's the issue that they've had. But yeah, unfortunate ending so far. Very clean racing, but now second portion coming up as we are racing to the yellow. Lopez still leading.
Breeding's really trying hard here to defend third at the line, and he's going to make it stick. Lopez leads at the yellow, but the rest of the field able to make their way through fairly cleanly. It does look like that was the sole incident to bring out the caution. So it's Cameron Lopez who leads, and we're going to go straight to a replay here, and we'll be right back here from Riverside. Well, here's the first instance towards the back. Brandon Morris and Patrick Raven. Morris spots the gap, gets kind of shoved into it by Falconer, and then sending himself and Raven for a bit of a lazy spin. Yeah, minor incident in the back. I don't think that was the one that caused the yellow.
So here we see Maston Rimmel. Luna Bennington pokes it to the inside. Rimmel trying to avoid the 62, forces the 4 off, and I don't think Bennington really appreciated that move, turning the 07, collecting Georgie in the 86, and Radval in the 94 gets sent way wide and obviously gets stuck down there.
Hello and welcome back to Riverside. It's still Lopez, your leader. Some small notes to report. Greenman's reporting of a vibration. However, his team are telling him to stay out. Same can be said for Freya Aradotta, the 23 team, also being told to stay out. No retirements for the race. Graham Radval ripped the hood off that car and is a lap down. And other than that, we're ready to go back to green. We're going to have 5 to go when the green flag drops, and it's Cameron Lopez who will be 5 laps away from back-to-back wins in USARC. And do you know what? There's not many drivers who can actually say they've done that.
in this season, Justin Whitmer managed to do it in this series as well. Hillside and Chicagoland, only being part-time here, but still managed to win back-to-back. But I agree. There's not that many people that have that on their rap sheet, so it would be a huge accomplishment for him to put on his shelf.
And last season, an SSR driver went back-to-back. Cameron Brennan went back-to-back at Monterey and Talladega. So, obviously, wanting to be the next SSR driver to do that is Lopez.
I think the one other who has achieved it is Peter Onjak, who went on an absolute tear last season in the state of Colorado, I believe, in trucks and cup. But here we go. 5 to go. And Lopez gets it back going. He doesn't get a good jump. Here comes Rigel. When here comes Breeding. Oh, 3 wide.
Bedard also not done yet. Gonna be in the inside.
Oh, what an overtake by Bedard. He's going to get 2 in 1 in the first braking zone of the track. Or maybe not. They're still 3 wide. Well, how have they not made contact?
These 3 cars have been in the in the front for most of the race. They want to be the main characters so bad. JR Bedard now in second, clearing the field a little bit. Breeding in third. Rigel seeming to be holding on fourth. That looked a bit shady there as well. Petty almost in attack to take the 8, but not quite there to make that move. Maybe on the next straight.
Rigel's all out of shape. I think he. A bit like what we saw with Breeding a few laps ago when he was overtaken by Murdo. Just a little bit shaken on that outside of turn 2, the first braking zone. And it's kind of caused him issues to the rest of his lap. Dream restart for Cameron Lopez. He's managed to pull away, and in his mirror, the 3 cars behind him were 3 abreast fighting. And Rigel's going to hold on to the 4th position for now. Or maybe not. Here comes Petty.
Petty with a great launch.
Absolutely textbook.
Rigel's been able to hold on around the outside. I think it's all going to depend on who can brake later. I tell you what, but Petty might have already cleared him, and now Rigel's under pressure from Christian Vargas, who we don't talk about too much. And there goes Vargas. There goes Greenman.
Rigel going down the field.
Onjak and Fitzwater here now, possibly both eyeing up a move, but they're side by side, too preoccupied with each other. And just behind them, it's Isaac Davis as well. Back up front, Cameron Lopez, 2.5 seconds last lap. Although Bedard looks fairly comfortable, gapping Breeding already, who hasn't really pulled away from Petty. If anything, I'd say the 46 has definitely gained some ground. And here we can see just on the edge of the top 10, this is for 8. Here's Peter Onjak and Zachary Fitzwater Sr.
We just talked about Onjak as well as one of the few, the 3 drivers I found that had done the back-to-back, 4 drivers, excuse me. And now he's wanting to maybe add another trophy to the cabinet. Maybe a bit late for that, but definitely making a good charge here on making up some spaces, maybe vying for top 5. At least trying to.
Yeah, he is the second most winningest driver in USARC history. Although not exactly seen a lot of success in the Aaron's Pro Series as of late. Here comes Christian Vargas with a great late race charge. We're down to just 3 laps to go. Cameron Lopez looks really comfortable out front. You can see him at the top of your screen just there. Petty holds on the 0 for now. And now he's
down 7th. Greenman doing a good job holding on despite the vibrations. Seems to not be that big of an issue right now.
Yeah, that does seem to be the case. Although he's run wide there, maybe liable to an overtake from one of his own drivers. That's Zachary Fitzwater Sr. in the 42. And he's having a good day. This is what I think FSR were expecting from him, to run well on these road courses.
Pretty new page is Fitzwater for the USARC, but yeah, pretty impressive today. Absolutely, this is how you make your mark. This is how you get teams to notice and how you get spots. And he takes the points leader very easy onto the straight, onto the start-finish straight.
Greenman's going to try and fight this one back. Doesn't have the momentum to carry it round. The 42 of Fitzwater. Rigel back in front of Christian Vargas, and well, that gap between the top two has closed ever so slightly. I don't think it's going to be enough at the minute. Cameron Brennan looks really comfortable at the very top of this field. Looking further back through the rear end of the field. All very close together through here. Very much a hornet's nest. But not much to report. And at the moment, Greenman, we've spoken already about how he'll be fairly content with just a top 10. In fact, more than just fairly content. I think he'll be delighted with a top 10, given where his championship rivals are finishing relative to him. I think maybe a little bit early to say, we've still got a lap and a half to go, but he will be very satisfied with the run he's had today.
Yeah, he's never been, we've obviously said a million times, he's never been much of the road ringer type, but I mean, just anybody who's never been good on road courses, it's good for them to get a top 10, and for him, it probably feels great. As Tarasova in 79 trying to hold off Eridaughter and Papega. And here comes Evans to the inside of Papega here. So the white flag is out, 1 lap to go for Cameron Lopez.
I mean, Bedard's closed, but it's not going to be enough at all. So essentially what he just needs is a clean enough lap here, and Cameron Lopez is going to add his name to a very exclusive list of USARC drivers, and that's, in fact, that's a list of USARC drivers with multiple wins, because there's not as many as you think, and the exclusive list itself, those who have gone back to back, this is a huge statement. He won on an oval, and now he's winning on a road course. This is a huge couple of weeks for his career, Cameron Lopez, especially with the talk we've had about his viability for that Open Cup seat at SSR.
Absolutely, it's been quite a masterclass from Cameron Lopez, showing back to back that he can win both on a road course and an oval, which you didn't expect from him. But he is now rounding the last corner, the slightly banked, just into the start-finish straight. Cameron Lopez is going to be a back-to-back winner here at Riverside.
That is huge for possibly even the championship. That's 100 points in the last 2 races for Cameron Lopez. You never know what that's going to do.
Before this, he was 96 points down, so this will be quite a bit of a dent over Greenman and the other car driver, especially somebody like Hiccup Bush, who is going to be losing out quite a bit. Lopez might be breaking into the top 5 at the very least here.
Oh, and Benedict Murdo, really poor finish of the day for him. I believe he's come, 40th, last of the lead lap runners, ahead of only Radville on track. But I'm sure he won't mind, because his young driver, his star young driver, has just gone back-to-back in USARC, a feat that is really hard to come by, and a lot of these drivers will be wishing they could do what he's just done.
He is only the 5th driver across all series that has ever done it. And the last time we've added somebody to this, also not that long ago. As I said, Justin Whitmer only did it 4 races ago. At Chicagoland, he finished his back-to-back. So this is a very, very, very big accomplishment for the young Portuguese driver in Cameron Lopez. So we are expecting big things from him, and maybe we can even add the next race is also a road course, so maybe we can even add a 3rd one to the list, and he would be the only one to have managed that.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting about the next race as well is Watkins Glen is where Cameron Lopez had his horrible accident last year, where he was severely injured. So a win there would be, I mean, just unbelievable for him, to be fair. There we see him pulling into his pit box.
The stories that USARC writes sometimes are beautiful, sometimes not so much. Let's see what this chapter will bring, as the last few races are upon us in the series. Only 5 more races to go. It'll be an exciting battle, I am sure.
Yeah, Greenman will extend his lead at the top to roughly what it was before, around 50 points. So once again, he's cleared that boundary of being a race win in front. Obviously, really important for his season there. I think it's still very much Greenman's championship to lose, even with that second win from Lopez, even with Derek Petty being awfully consistent, reading as well. On Jack with the first top 10. I think he's showing as well he can do well at these road courses. I mean, SSR as well in general, just to widen out to the whole team, because that's the drivers that we're focusing on. What amazing pace they've had this weekend.
Those Fords are really fast, and especially with Greenman's. We talked about Greenman's championship to lose. Basically, his season has been one of definitely consistency. The only race so far he's finished below 20th has been Ontario last race, where he had a bit of a tumble down to 28th. But every other race he's only been out of the top 10 4 times and been on the podium 5 times, including 1 win. His season so far has been incredible and has been one of just consistently good results. So this 8th place will be exactly what he was looking for. Not just don't get into trouble, get a good result, get a solid haul of points. Don't destroy what you have built for the rest of the season.
I think the big thing with him is just getting through these road courses as best as he can. So when it comes back to Kentucky, to Talladega, Atlanta, and Homestead tracks, he's always been decent at. I guess Talladega is a bit more of a gambling track than a skill track, but all those other ones, he's a very good driver on the speedways. So all he really needs to do is navigate the road course at Watkins Glen and just hope and pray that he doesn't get taken out in the big one at Talladega.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Talladega's that. I mean, maybe Watkins Glen, because we've seen, as we saw last year, some fairly big incidents there, but Talladega and Watkins Glen, the last 2 big hurdles that will stop Anthony Greenman from potentially winning this championship. Like I said, it's so very much his to lose. I think we're underplaying how near certain this championship is for him. And if he, dare I say, if he loses this now, it'll be worse than when Soufstry bottled it last year or when Whitmer bottled the championship in season 1. So, yeah, he is very much in the catbird seat.
With a whole race in hand, it's definitely hard to lose, especially if you've been this consistent. Greenman definitely the driver to watch, and going to be as well next year when obviously this year in the AutoNation series not too well, but next year he's going to have one of those SSR cars, and he will definitely be coming in as an absolute favorite to win that as well next year. So I'm very excited to see what he can do with the better machinery next year.
And even in the coming races of the ANCS season, he'll be in the 3 at Daytona Motorsports, so that'll give the fans something to watch for as well.
Yeah, so a lot to look forward to in USARC, and tomorrow night, looking forward, we have the Chase Cut-Off race at Pocono for the AutoNation Cup Series. So many storylines involved in that one. There's a lot to look forward to, for sure. And so without further ado, thank you very much for watching here at Riverside. It's been a nice clean race, which given circumstances of last week's race and what happened, is massively welcomed, sure, by everyone. So yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. Congratulations once again to Cameron Lopez on going back to back, and until next time, goodbye.